Protesters carrying signs reading "Our forests are not for sale" broke through security lines of the COP30 climate talks on Tuesday night in Belém, Brazil. United Nations security staff ran behind a line of Brazilian soldiers shouting at delegates to immediately leave the venue. The UN told the media that the incident caused minor injuries to 2 security staff, in addition to limited damage to the venue. Social media videos showed protesters that appeared to be from indigenous groups and others waving flags with the logo of a left-wing Brazilian youth movement called Juntos. Protesters, some wearing what appeared to be traditional indigenous dress, stormed the COP30 entrance, chanting and kicking down doors, before tussling with security personnel. Videos posted online showed. Demonstrators crossed the first security barriers of the venue and were then prevented from getting further in, the UN told the BBC. It is highly unusual security breach at a conference that has strict protocols. Brazilian and UN authorities are investigating the incident, according to the UN. Delegates from almost 200 countries are attending COP30 talks, which officially runs from Monday the 10th of November to Friday the 21st of November. This year's gathering takes place 10 years after the Paris Climate Agreement, in which countries pledged to try to restrict the rise in global temperatures to 1.5 C. It is the first time the conference is being held in Brazil, with the talks taking place in Belém on the edge of the Amazon rainforest. The location has proved a controversial decision for a number of reasons, in part due to the Amazon's residents, many of whom are vocal critics of the environmental damage caused to their home by climate change and deforestation. Brazil has also continued to grant new licenses for oil and gas which, alongside coal, are fossil fuels, the main cause of global warming. The meetings this year have been dubbed the Indigenous Peoples COP, with Brazilian organizers promising to put indigenous people at the center of the talks. Brazil's Minister of Indigenous Peoples Sonia Guajajara hailed COP30 as historic event, and estimated that 3,000 indigenous peoples from around the world would be in attendance. A UN report released earlier this year said that indigenous peoples safeguard 80% of the planet's remaining biodiversity, yet receive less than 1% of international climate funding.
We've gathered out here today because we want to send a message to world leaders inside that you cannot continue to gamble on our futures to preserve your profit. What we need right now is real solutions led by people and led by communities that puts the well-being of people and planet and our ecosystems over protecting the profits of corporations and their shareholders. It's been 30 years of these UN climate summits, and it's still 30 years where we're not seeing real solutions that are led by the people, and instead we're just seeing how we can continue business as usual. And we're saying no more to that. We don't care about your corporate profits, we care about our peoples and our livelihoods. On the one hand, sometimes we don't have hope, but on the other hand, we still want to come here and make sure that we're demanding that change, because if we don't demand that change as peoples, they are not going to hand it down to us. So we do have some hope that we can influence what's happening inside of here, but that's why also we're putting a lot of our energies into organising the People's Summit, which is happening alongside COP.
Indigenous peoples are disproportionately impacted by climate change due to their dependence on the natural environment and its resources. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva told the opening of the summit that the world must defeat climate denialism and fight fake news. He said that the decision to hold COP30 in Belém was designed to show that the Amazon is an essential part of the climate solution, adding that COP30 will be the COP of truth in an era of misrepresentation and rejection of scientific evidence. According to the president, the most diverse biome on Earth is home to nearly 50 million people, including 400 indigenous groups.